All right, welcome everybody. I am doing a little plan with me. I am doing a little bit of my face, a little bit of the viewfinder here because I feel like I really like seeing people's faces and I just enjoy doing that type of video content. So we're gonna go ahead and do just a plan for me for next week in my Hobonichi cousin. So the way that I'm currently using my planner system is it's sort of twofold. So I have a Hobonichi Weeks, Sneaker Weeks Mega that I use, and I use these two really in conjunction with each other. But where the Hobonichi cousin specifically comes into play is more of a high level overview. So the days where I really need to dive in and focus, which is nearly every day, I need to be able to like see, break things down, and me coming back to sort of this weekly layout with stuff like this really is helpful because it allows me to connect to how my day is actually flowing. It allows me to not have too much dead space in my day. Like for example, like I took a nap on Thursday. I was not feeling well. I had a little bit of like Netflix and chill time today on Friday. And then I had another like 3-hour block where I had coffee with a girlfriend. And then like yesterday, I didn't open this book at all yesterday. I went hunting and then we had a movie night. And so then I am having a work day today on a Sunday because this is just the season that I'm in. We got to do a little bit of extra weekend work days and that's totally okay. And so what I've been doing here on the side, and this is very much inspired by the Coffee Monsters Co., is I'm doing a little hours worked tracker on the side just to keep me accountable as the week goes on to either not work too much or work too little, because I can sometimes err very extreme on one side or the other, especially if my ADHD is really acting up. And then daily steps. While I do track my steps, obviously I have an Apple Watch, so I am tracking my daily steps. If I don't actually go back and look and reflect on that data, it's pointless to me. I'm definitely very much a person who has to come back and reflect on things. But there's a few things that I love and sort of hate about this setup. So I have a big sticker right here from my Sterling Ink sub box because I had a sticky note on this paper and it stuck here and it like ripped it up on this page. So even on this side, you can see there's a little bit of like ripped paper happening up here at the top. I was able to kind of glue it down and keep it together. And then I just have a sticky note. I always keep a sticky note on the week ahead of time so I can just jot things down. These are sticky notes from Papery Planning. I have a bunch of these neutral sticky notes. They're not necessarily my favorite because the adhesive sort of sticks to the top of the next note, but I love the color palette and I actually have a bunch taped in as like a dashboard or inbox in my Hobonichi Weeks. I just love having them because again, even on my Hobonichi Weeks, like I will stick in sticky notes on different days. I actually took a sticky note out of here and put it into like one of my days on here because I'm making some random notes on my daily pages for this weekend for studio billing for my music studio, of how many lessons each person is having, how much they're being billed that month, and notes for the email update that I actually need to send out to them this afternoon. It's currently Sunday, January 29th, and this video will likely be going up today anyway. So those are my daily pages, but we're gonna set up my weekly pages first today. And the way that this is gonna work, there did I go, is I want to keep kind of a similar theme. This sort of like grayish color palette, this like gray neutral color palette really works for me. And my Ride or Die Tombow right now, and you can see that the letters are getting kind of rubbed off, is an N79. I need to like buy like 5 more of these because I'm absolutely obsessed. This is like the perfect gray neutral. If you know any other Tombows that are really like a good gray neutral color, I would love to mix it up, but I don't like using a ton of color. I did use some color in my daily pages set up today because this tape sample that I have has a little bit of blue and orange, and so I pulled in a little bit of that just for these 2 days. And even for, I set up my daily pages for the rest of January using sort of like a mint and black sort of layout, which was really, really nice. Although I am gonna be doing a separate video for setting up my February daily pages. But anyway, so really what happens is my weeks here, and I did a separate plan with me for my weeks here, is I usually use my Hobonichi Weeks for my monthlies, tracking like my workouts and any symptoms, appointments, things like that, very much health focused tracker. And then I use my week to do like my vitamins, water intake, personal tasks, and then recurring weekly tasks for my business as well as home and personal care. And then in the back is very much brain dumpy for anything and everything. I'm not the type of person that can keep a separate planner for personal and work. Because I work from home, I just need everything to be in one book, and I just have to make note of which is which, and it's very easy for me to keep those things organized. But I have to be able to see everything at once. Like I have to see all of this at once on one day and see where everything has gotten to. And then same thing for like this week, everything's personal care, home task, work, health, personal to-dos, and then like my main brain dump work task for the week will end up here in the back of the Hobonichi weeks, and then I will go to my daily pages and start pulling things in from the week and scheduling kind of out what I'm doing on what day. This coming week is going to be a little goofy because I've got a state conference that I'm speaking at and performing at with a group that I sing with, but let's go ahead and get into it, and we're just going to start by planning out this particular day. Now, I kind of hate this. I don't like that this is red. If there was one thing I could change about the Hobonichi cousin, it would be this. What I really should have done is I should have purchased actually a second Sterling Ink Common Planner, but I didn't know I was going to end up using this book until halfway through the month when I realized that the way that I was using my Hobonichi weeks was still lacking that high level overview, and I was getting still very distracted as the days went on. So I'm going to carefully rip this up because I do not want to rip this paper again. And I've got a few washi tapes that I pulled because I do think I'm going to use the same sort of kit from Sterling Ink. I've got these from my February sub box, but then also these kind of darker theme. These are a little bit darker. It's the same month's sub stuff, but I think I'm going to stick with some of these ripped paper. These are too small to put in my journal. I do have a journal. I use a B6 Common Planner from Sterling Ink for my actual like daily journaling and memory keeping. These are too small for those pages. I like to get stickers from Lauren Phelps Designs for that, and I'll do another video on that because they're really big and they take up like a good chunk of the page, so I don't feel so intimidated to fill up a whole page. But these are also too big for my Hobonichi weeks. Like there's no way I would put this on a week spread as of the way that I use it right now. They're too big. So I think, and these I'm gonna save, actually, I don't know. I don't really want the sparkles and this ripped in the sand. So I think these are gonna be for my Hobonichi weeks. I'm gonna put those aside. I'm gonna use these ones, and I'm gonna be pretty liberal with them. I'm not a sticker hoarder. I like to be very like casual with what I do with my stickers, and I think because I screwed up this corner of the page, I'm gonna cover it up again with another big ass sticker. Where's my tweezers? They're over here in my little, I have this cute little just pencil pouch that I got from Michael's that sort of houses my go-to stuff that I don't necessarily need to carry around with me, but I want in my book. Okay. Actually, how will this fit? I'm gonna start with my washi tape first. I think I'm gonna go over, I think this dark one is gonna be the ticket. I just did my nails, so my nails are a little bit in the way. I haven't had long nails on for a few weeks. I kind of go back and forth because I do teach private music, and sometimes having the long ass nails while playing piano can be a little bit problematic. Okay, I do want to wipe that out. So getting my little white out, we're going to just take out that highly pigmented stuff. I don't need to do this for every single day because I don't think it shows through really. Or is that gonna drive me batty? It's gonna drive me batty. Okay, here we go. We're just going in, guys. Nice thing about planners is, tape gut. They can be whatever you want them to be. And I kind of wish I had a pencil board for this size book, for this A5. Now this Hobonichi Cousin, if you watched my video on it, was initially meant to be my language learning book. And then I realized very quickly that having a dated notebook as my language learning book was not gonna fly, because I do not get to my formal practice for language learning as many days a week as I thought I was going to be able to. Doing it every day was highly ambitious. So really it ends up being more like 1 or 2 days a week, and just having an undated B6 Stalogy ends up working much better for me. Okay, we're gonna put this all the way across the top. And I'm gonna line it up The only downside is if you put down the tape too tight on this Tomoe River paper, it like causes the paper to like curl in. We're just gonna go all the way across the top. Whee! I love this thin washi tape. I got some on Etsy, but I also ordered some on Amazon, and I like kind of the neutral color palette of it. Where's my pencil board? This is a pencil board from Lawrence Phelps Designs, and I just use it for everything. I ordered actually another one today because she sent a coupon code for her shop. She's having a little bit of a sale. I'm gonna put this little washi chunk over here. I'm gonna just make a pile. And I am absolutely obsessed. Now I'm gonna hold on because I wanna put my sticker down. I wanna put my sticker down and then I'm gonna leave the dates in the back because I actually kind of like the idea of the dates showing through this particular sticker. No. Is that gonna come up without causing problems? It's not, so we're gonna have to trim that later. Okay, but I'm gonna go ahead now and trim this tape at the edge of the sticker. It's being difficult. There we go. I will just have to take my scissors and trim the edge of this sticker since I goofed that up. NBD. Good, and got it. Yes. Today's been a very kind of chill day. Sundays are, okay, well, first of all, it's the end of the month. And end of the month for me is always a little bit busy. Not just because you're doing like business owner things, like I need to get like, you know, make sure that all my accounts and stuff like that are updated. I'm actually doing some stuff with my bank right now and switching around some stuff for my finances. So kind of looking through some of that stuff. I'll do like my profit loss and accounting and stuff usually the first week of the following month. But end of the month is always when I update my client calendars for the next month. And that can take some time. So I usually will save on I will usually do it on a Sunday. I don't know what it is about Sundays, but I do some of my best like programming on Sundays because I don't have meetings, I don't have events, I'm not answering client messages. I'm literally can just like dive in and do the stuff and I get it done in a really efficient manner. I did half of it on Friday, but Friday, I could have gotten it all done on Friday, but I ended up just spending extra time with one of my girlfriends who is moving to Colorado on Monday. So I really didn't want to rush that time. And I was like, if I have to work a little bit extra time on Sunday so I can make sure I have time for Rachel today, then so be it. And it was really nice because actually she makes custom bullet journals and she made me a book journal for 2023 and I started using it last night. It's beautiful. I'll have to do like a flip through and stuff for that later. Okay, so here we go. And I like to just write in the day. So Monday is actually going to be, Monday is the 30th. So we're going to go, and this is sort of cut off, but we're still going to write it in. Monday 3-0. Tuesday 3-1. We're going to do a when. I really suck at hand lettering, but I do like my cursive. So we're rolling with that this week. And I'm not the person that like, I always toy with the idea of buying a ton of stickers with like letters and dates and stuff like that. But I'm like, keeping that all organized would drive me absolutely bonkers. Like I already have like all my stickers in like an Archer and Olive like box left over for one of my journals, and that's about as much as I can handle. And then I have got like vellum paper and some Tomoe River paper and sticker paper that's like printer size sheet that's like in my drawers off to the side, and that's about as much as I want to have to organize. And I only have like 3 Tombow markers. I've got like a dark gray, a light gray, and then this N79, and then I have like a green color because I really like this color. Green is like dark enough that it works sometimes when I want just a pop of color. I just absolutely love it. And it works really well too with like, I actually bought it specifically for the February sticker kit because I loved Just look at this. Look at that combo. Look how pretty that is. So I loved that, but I try not to buy too many things. I want to keep a very minimal stash. Friday the 3rd and Saturday 4th, Sunday the 5th. So this is not a Pilot Vanishing Point. This is like a knockoff version of it from Amazon, and I actually really like it. And I just fill it with this Diatramentus Archive ink, because once this dries, you can highlight over it with Tombows and like mild liners and Zig Dot color markers and stuff like that, and it doesn't bleed. And I just love the pigmentation of this. Okay. So we're gonna fill in. I think that this week I really liked doing the step tracker and the hours tracker. I'm not committed to that being like a thing year round, but right now it works. So how did I set this up last? Say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Realistically, I'm not gonna spend more than 10 hours in front of my computer on any given day. So we're gonna set it up that same way. And let me actually zoom in just a little bit. Wee. Zoom in just a smidge. We're gonna go 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and then 0. Will that be that? That will be that. And then we need a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I will keep the weekend in there because sometimes it's a Sunday today when I'm doing this and I'm working today. So it is what it is. I'm gonna take a little coffee break there. And then I'm gonna do the same for my steps. I'm gonna let that dry before so we're gonna get 10. I typically don't get more than 10K steps, although yesterday I do believe that I got, because we went hunting, I definitely got more than, where's my steps app? We definitely got more than that yesterday. Okay. So maybe this week, and I'm going to a conference, I'll be out and about a lot more, so maybe I'll go give myself up to 12 this week. 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and then 0 will be there. Okay. 0, and then we need a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry, because if I stick this on top of this while it's drying, it's gonna smudge it all up and drive me absolutely bonkers. So the things that I need to put into my calendar, I'm gonna address. I keep an Outlook calendar. I don't use like a monthly calendar because I have like business cohorts and meetings and Zoom things that have to go into my calendar. So my master calendar really is like Google, but I have 2 Google accounts loaded into my Outlook account. And so I need to put certain things in that I know are happening, and then I will go back in. Okay, so 9 a.m. I have a meeting with Candace. She's my wonderful VA at noon. I have a Jessie one-on-one. That's one of my clients. And then at 1:30, I also have a Jenny one-on-one call. So I just like to, I know this seems really picky, but I like to just write in what the thing is, and then I put a little line next to it. I don't highlight everything before like I used to, because I tried that like this week where I absolutely highlighted everything and it drove me nuts. So what I started doing was really just marking out when I'm working. So like work, and then I can draw a line down. So likely what will end up happening is like I will start work at like 8, and then all of this stuff will kind of get filled in underneath, and then I'll draw an arrow down as I'm working. And then as the day goes on, I kind of go back and forth, and then I'll go back and forth and then like fill things in. And this is not really a checklist. This is more so like things I did. What was the general consensus of the things that I did? And again, this is really more for me to be reflective than it is to keep track of stuff. This really isn't meant for like a functional purpose, except for just to keep my brain calm. And I need those little dopamine hits as the day goes on of like filling in my calendar. Okay, then I've got, Monday is busy. Ooh. Then I've got a meeting at 2 p.m. and I'm way out of frame. 4%. Mastermind meeting, good. And then I've got a 3 p.m. right? Yep, and then I've got a 3, and this is gonna be an hour long. 3 p.m. Brianna, one-on-one. It's another client call. Then at 5 p.m., and this military time in this book really messes me up. I have a FCA office hour. That's the business cohort that I coach in, that my mentor and my friend runs. And then at 7 p.m., 5, 6, 7, I've got Canto Vivo, which is the group that I sing with, and we're performing on Friday morning, or supposedly we're performing on Friday morning. Remains to be seen how many people are actually going to be able to make that performance. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, so that's Mondays. Good. And then Tuesday is, I don't have any meetings on Tuesday except for I do have a call, but Tuesdays is really a client work day. It's a client check-in day. So I'm really only doing work for my clients on Tuesdays, but I have a business cohort meeting at 2 o'clock. And then the rest of the day is literally open. No meeting day. I will go to this maybe depending on, because we have calls almost every day throughout the week. So I don't always go to all of the calls. Then Wednesday, I don't have anything until music lessons in the afternoon. So that's at 2:30. And that's actually going to go, that's going to get highlighted. So at 2:30, we have music lessons, and that's going to go till 7:15. Okay, that's dry enough. 2, 6, 7:15. I just kind of guesstimate. I don't write in each individual lesson because all my lessons are backed up one after another, so I just need to block out the time. Okay, hopefully this is dried enough. Sometimes if this is not dried enough before you write on it, it will sort of a bit. Music lessons, good. And this is really good because I need time to block out for things this week. I'm really gonna heavy front load client work Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday morning is very much going to be a creative catching up on tasks type of day. Thursday will very much be a follow-up client task day, because with my clients, the reason I need the daily pages is because literally a million things come up as the week goes on. So all this is stuff that kind of comes up during the week, not necessarily stuff that I know that I have to do. It's I'm talking with this person and they need this thing and I've got to do that. And that's what I end up doing. Thursday, I don't have anything on my calendar. Thank goodness. Okay. And I only have a few music lessons on Thursday. I really don't like how this looks with so many meetings, but that's just how that Monday ended up. Usually I take client calls on Tuesdays because I'm already doing client work. So all of these people that I have calls with will get their check-ins for the week on our call. It's a live check-in instead of just me sending a video. 4:30 music lessons until 7:15. Yep, 7:15. I don't like to teach later. Wait, 5, 6, 7. Did I mess this up? No, I didn't. 4, 5, 6, 7. I did mess the other one up. Okay, it's 19. I'm going to fix that. Now I'm going to show you how I fix that. I don't really like whiteout on this paper a whole lot, but I do where did my wet pen go? It is floating around here somewhere. It's in my little pencil pouch. I love a Uniball Signo gel ink. We'll just comb through here and, assuming that the ink is dry, just cover it up enough that it won't drive me nuts and I can go back and fix that later. Okay. Music lessons. So this is great that I have 2 mornings with no meetings because this will really allow me to dig in. And now Friday's a little bit goofy. Friday, we are supposedly singing at 9 a.m. So I'm going to put that in because I think that there's like a 90% chance we will still be doing this. Sorry, had to take a little coffee break. And if it doesn't end up happening, then I will cross it out. Concert at AZMEA, and then I am presenting at 5 p.m. So what's going to happen is it's really interesting. So I'm not actually part of this organization anymore. I used to be on the state board for it when I was still teaching publicly, but I am presenting at this conference. I'm doing a Your Body is Your Instrument Wellness for the Choral Educator, and that presentation is happening at 5. So I'm just going to put this in here. Say AZMEA present, because I did this session last year, and I did it for ACE, which is the Arizona Choral Educators, but there's also there's also organizations for, it's like sound like a cult. There's also organizations for orchestra and band and general music, and I had a lot of people from those 3 come to my session, even though it was only on the grid for ACE, but they saw it and they were like, this is really interesting, I want to do this. So we did it and we put it on the grid for all of the organizations, and I'm doing it Friday and Saturday, and Saturday's presentation is at 2:45. So I'm going to put it down here. AZMEA present. And that's as much as I know. So what'll likely happen is I'll come to the concert in the morning. I've got colleagues that I will likely go have lunch with, just to hang out with them and see them and visit with them. And then I will go work for a little while. There will be Wi-Fi at the conference center, and there is like a coffee shop in the restaurant at the hotel where it's at. So I'll be able to go and get some work done, and then I'll do my presentation, and then we may or may not be having dinner with friends. But this is everything that's currently on my calendar as of right now. So this is all I'm going to leave it as, and I'm going to fix this here, and I'm going to finish my sidebar. 7:15. Yeah, the military time throws me off, and I toyed with I looked at some stickers on Etsy that would like change the times to a 12-hour clock. But I'm like, do I really want to have to buy all of the stickers and put stickers on every single day? And I'm like, I will just figure out the military time because I can't be bothered. Okay, so now that I know what's happening here, and now typically I go to bed like around like 10 or 11. So usually down here I've got room, you know, except for Wednesday when I took a nap. I had like a really weird day. Oh no, it was Thursday. I stayed up until like 1:30 in the morning because I was doing creative stuff, but for work, which made sense because I took a huge nap in the middle of the day. I had like a really low energy ADHD day. And so we're going to finish this sidebar and then actually fill in the rest of my stuff from last week. I know I used to hate. Okay, I don't know where that cut off, but I don't know where this cut off, but I'm just filling in the side. So I was just saying it's kind of weird that I like to do, I know that a lot of people like to use like a different marker or like a less smudgy a lower risk marker or pen to draw in their lines, especially with like this type of fountain pen ink. It can smear, but this pencil board from Lawrence Phelps Design, I don't know what it is about this edge, but it works so much better than this little like 6-inch, I have a little 6-inch Westcott ruler. If I use this makes it bleed, and I don't know why that is, so I just stick to using this one. That's why I ordered a second one, because I do like to keep this in my weeks. That is my finance planner, but I also like it I like to just keep it, I want one for this. I want to be able to like slide it in here and just have it in this book also. Okay, so that's that. Now let's go ahead And sorry, my head popped in and out because my camera stopped recording and then I paused my phone and then didn't restart it. But let's go ahead and I'm going to fill in my daily steps. I'm gonna have to wait because that's an app on my phone and I'm using my phone currently, but I'm gonna fill in my work hours. So let's see. I track my work hours via Toggle and I have everything sorted out because what I do for my business is I track my efficiency in various areas. So that way, like if I'm struggling or I feel like something's not flowing within my business, I can actually go back and look at the data. So I'm looking at my Toggle right now, and Friday I didn't work as many hours because like I said, I had, I was like, I'll just work on Sunday and get caught up on everything. And all this is hours total between my coaching business as well as my music business because they are technically under the same LLC. And so like I do that for my bookkeeping purposes and for time tracking. Like doing it under two different businesses would drive me absolutely insane. And so I do track it, but everything's sorted out in Toggle if you've never used Toggle before. So Friday I only worked like 4 3/4 hours. So Friday, and I actually think I drew this in and then I covered it up because I drew the line crooked. 4 3/4 hours. So it's gonna be there. And then Saturday I worked none at all. So I will leave it blank. And then Sunday I will fill in later. And then my daily steps, pause. I'm gonna pause my video of my face so I can look at this. Steps. I like to use, I don't actually use the Apple Watch app, like the activity tracker to track my steps because I don't like the way that it looks. And I like to have actually a complication that tracks that it sees just my steps. And on the Apple Watch, you can only see your rings and you can see your steps for the day in your rings, but you have to like tap in and scroll. Where I like this app called Pacer because it lets me just, excuse me, go back, location services. Okay, go back. It lets me just see my steps for the day at a glance without having to dig into something else. And just so I just like that. Go away. Too many notifications. So let me see what my steps were for this week so far. So yesterday, last day was Thursday, 5,000. Friday was 5,800. So just a little bit higher. I don't really have a steps goal right now. It's just something I like to keep track of because I do sit, obviously I work at my desk all day long. I do exercise and I do try to go on walks, but if I try to fit in too many tasks or like focuses, like areas of focus throughout the week, my struggle, and this is funny that I struggle with this. I mean, you would think that as a coach, I have my shit figured out, but everybody has their issues, even coaches have coaches. Like I've got support. Anyway, that stopped. Okay. Even I need support. And yesterday I got 12K. So we're just going to go here up at the top and write 12. Just so I know. And then today I will fill in tomorrow. And then what I'll do once this is all dried, I'll obviously connect the dots. And I just am looking forward to seeing this as like a trend over the next couple months to see where I'm at. But tracking the steps is just a good reminder for me to make sure I'm actually moving my body even on days where I'm not exercising. It's very easy for me to get like 7 to 8K steps, but it's very difficult to get 10K. And anybody who works a job where you work from home, that's pretty realistic. If you can get like 7 to 8K steps on a daily basis at a work from home job, that is bomb. For me to get 8 to 10K steps, I have to carve out another 30 to 40 minutes a day just for walking in addition to my regular workouts. And that's just not feasible for me some days. Now, one thing I do like is that the Apple Watch will remind me when I am low on movement, and that's really nice. So I will do that. But otherwise, I just have to sort of wing it. So, and just try to be as aware as possible. Okay. Okay, so we are back on with my camera. And so this is just basically, this is my week at a glance. I'm gonna add a couple more stickers though. I feel like this would be really fun. Like down here, there's a little bit of space. And I think that I will, because Sunday I usually chill out pretty early, even on Saturday too, I will likely use some of this space. So let me see if I can find something. And last week I did mark my wake up time and when I went to bed. Except for Monday, I didn't track when I went to bed. But for the most part, this was pretty helpful for me to see. So I'll likely do my wake up times. Normally it's at 6. Last week was a bit goofy. Okay, what do I want to use? What do I want to use? I kind of want to stick one of these stamp stickers down at the bottom. Like, I feel like that's a vibe, but like not one that's too purpley. I think like this one appeals to me because it's sort of it's a similar print to that one up there. I think it actually is the same like picture. So we're gonna choose this one. Oh, but I need room to write my little header. So what if because usually when I get home from Kanto, I go straight to bed. Ta-da! And I'm gonna I need a little header here, hours worked, and daily steps. There, now I'll let that dry and then I'll write it in. Okay, cool. And then for this guy down here, do I want like this? Or do I want like this? Or do I want like this? Why are there too many options? They're so fun. Okay. I think I like actually this. We're gonna just throw that guy down there in the corner on a Sunday. Because if everything goes to plan, I'll be in bed by 8 p.m. on Sunday and I won't need this space anyway. Okay. Ta-da! Yes, okay, I think that's it. I think that'll do it. I might add just a couple little thingamabobbers of washi. So like maybe like right here at the top. Oh, you can see that for sure. Just kind of do it like little willy-nilly pieces. Let me use my tweezers because with these nails I cannot. Just a neutral washi. I will link my thin washi stash where I got everything down below, and we're going to stick this one right here. Ta-da! All right, and we do hours worked and daily steps. And that is the setup for next week. Daily steps. Ah! There we go. Ta-da! There's the layout for the upcoming week, friends. Pretty minimal, pretty chill, very much functional, very much high level overview of how my days are going. And that's just, I flip back to this 2 or 3 times a day and just kind of like fill in as the day goes on. Usually when I'm like taking a work break is when I'll start to do that. So there we have it. That is it. Thank you guys so much. I will try to do one of these a week. Cannot promise it's going to happen every single week just because YouTube is very much like a secondary focus for me when it comes to content and stuff like that. Most of the stuff that I do happens on Instagram as well as my podcast, which is What the Funk, which there is a playlist for the podcast. I am starting to cross post over to YouTube because why not? If I'm already recording it, I might as well just put it there too. Anyway, that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Talk to you soon. Bye.